Guys, what is going on? Welcome back in here to Slaughterhouse Sports. We're going to talk about the New England Patriots now. We're going to get real about the Patriots on this show. And listen, I'm going to tell y'all what I think about what they've done in free agency so far. So the Patriots, they go out there and they get Carlton Davis. Believe he's an older corner. I'm going to say he's about 28 years old. He's from Auburn. I remember him coming out of the draft, second-round pick. A physical man-to-man corner, somebody that I liked, somebody that I thought was a good value. He was on the Buccaneers for a little while, and then I believe he went up to Detroit. Kind of a journeyman, bounced around. Carlton Davis ending up making $20 million over 60 years. And again, God bless Carlton Davis. I'm happy when these guys get paid, but we're talking about are these smart, savvy business decisions? Are these smart business decisions? And $20 million for Carlton Davis, that's a ton of coin for Carlton Davis. You could have went out there and, Paulson Adebo has a much more affordable contract. Nate Hobbs is more affordable, in the cornerback market. Even DJ Reed was cheaper. So, again, they're just out here. They spent a ton of money on Davis. I think it was an overpay. Robert Spillane, again, kind of an older backer, reminds me of Blake Martinez. This is a guy who's going to make a lot of tackles for you. But again, this is somebody that is a total journeyman. These are what free agents are all about. They're paying Spillane, who's, I think he's a decent coverage linebacker. I think he's gotten interceptions in spots, but a lot of times the Raiders are playing bad quarterbacks. Again, he's an aggressive player. It's really fun to watch on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Again, a guy that you root for, but the type of coin that Rob is making, they did great at getting the type of coin from the Patriots. But for Elliott Wolf and Mike Vrabel, this was not a smart signing. They could have signed a lot of other pieces. I guess they maybe could have looked at safety. They could have gotten, linebackers that were a lot cheaper, and this draft is decent for linebacker play. They could have just drafted a linebacker. So some of these free agents, they could have even, kicked it towards last year. They could have, even continued to look at the offensive line position. The Patriots, then, this is the big one. They spend an inordinate amount of money, a ton of money on Milton Williams. And Milton Williams, again, being near the Philadelphia area, I watch Milton Williams for the Eagles. He doesn't even play on half of the snaps. So maybe they look at it, it's an advantage. He doesn't have mileage on the tires. But it was really Jalen Carter's world. It was Jordan Davis's world. And he's a nice player. But out of Louisiana Tech, a third-rounder, yeah, he's a nice player. I know he's in his mid-20s, but they are paying him, and I guess it's probably because the Eagles won the Super Bowl. They're paying Milton Williams over $100 million over 4 years to be a dominant stalwart. If they're paying him like Christian Wilkins money, somebody who was really good in Miami all those years. So, again, they have money, but it doesn't mean you have to spend it. You could always layer it off until the next year, or you should have just went and got some very good guards. Why don't you sprinkle it on special teamers? Why don't you get some more decent offensive linemen? I know that the receiver market isn't that great, but the secondary market is very good. I know you have Christian Gonzalez, so the Patriots too, and then at wide receiver they get Matt Collins. That's okay, but I do think you have to surround your quarterback. I do. I guess Hunter Henry they're going to rely on at the tight end position going into this year. So boy, oh boy, it's just the thing is with the Patriots. I don't believe that much in Drake May. That feels crazy to say that at this point, but I don't. I don't believe a lot even, McDaniel is a fine offensive coordinator, but again, he's kind of like a retread hire. Maybe he ends up being like Fangio and ends up being an older retread hire that ends up being brilliant. And Vrabel was decent in Tennessee. Vrabel was pretty good, but I feel like the Patriots now in this free agent period where they're splurging on cash, Drake May, everyone's projecting him to be a great quarterback. Everybody seems to fall in love with the Mike Vrabel hire. Everybody is cloud nine around the league and around media in Foxborough about these New England Patriots. They believe they're going to be a dark horse to make the NFL playoffs. I don't see any consistency. I don't see a playoff roster. I see a roster that's not going to be very good. I actually see Miami. The Jets are a big question mark, but I still see Buffalo being the stalwart in this AFC East. I think the AFC East is even getting a little bit weaker. The AFC West is absolutely just loaded. The AFC West is the best division in the NFL. So I'm not enamored with this Patriots free agent period at all. I'm looking at the type of numbers that they're wielding out to these players, and I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it with Vrabel. I'm not seeing it with these free agent signings. Let me know what you guys think. Maybe you guys think that these are really good signings. Maybe you guys are big Drake May believers. Again, like you had Freeze, you had Ryan Kelly, like you had some really good linemen, go, and they just look like better ideal signings. Like I watched Spillane, I watched Carlton, Davis, Milton, Williams. I've watched these guys play. And just because you have the money to spend on these guys, you could still save this cap. And you don't just have to splurge all right now. But I believe that Vrabel's also pulling the strings. Vrabel is controlling it, not Elliott Wolf. All right, so let me know what y'all are thinking. I'm sure there'll be Patriots fans who'll come in here and argue. I welcome that in the comments. All righty, guys. Thanks for watching.